Johnny, you got to check out some hardware, which we haven't done in months here.
Yep.
Yeah, lay it on us. What do you got?
So I got to check out, got myself the HTC Vive. Mm-hmm. It is a VR headset from HTC, and it's co-developed with Valve. So it has built-in Steam integration. And the big thing about it is that it's a full room immersion. So you set up a space, and it could be as small as 2 meters by 2 meters. That's slightly over 6 feet by 6 feet.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for accommodating us ignorant Westerners.
Americans specifically, not Westerners. Americans.
I don't understand this metric system. What you mean meters? What's a decimeter? A centimeter?
Give me that in inches.
It could be as big as 15 by 15 feet, not meters.
That's 3 yards, 5 yards by 5 yards.
Slightly over 5 meters.
That's
or under 5 meters.
Under 5. Okay, that's slightly under 5 meter yards versus 5 meter. I'm sorry. So stupid.
All right, and once you set that up, and it's kind of a pain to set up because you have these two sensors. They have to place very high up. Usually attach it to the highest point on the wall or onto the ceiling itself, and then you have to angle them downwards, and it's a little bit of a pain.
Is there calibration involved?
There's no calibration with those things, but there is calibration with the headset itself and with the two controllers.
That's where you usually lose people.
And the controllers definitely are what further enhance the experience itself, because these controllers also have one-to-one motion via the sensors, so that as you're in this virtual world, you move your hands, and the controllers are moving exactly as you move them in this world. You can actually, it's so exact that you can like take the controller. You can't see anything that's happening in the real world. So you can take the controller, throw it into the air, and catch it. Like physically. Yeah, you can do that. Because it's so one-to-one, you just throw it into the air, look at it, and then catch it perfectly.
Is there much cost to do that during gameplay?
No. I haven't played any games that would require doing that. It has a strap on these controllers to make sure it doesn't leave your hand. If you accidentally drop it, it'll dangle from your wrist. And
or
stuff
when
like
you get pissed off.
They don't promote that at all.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to break my expensive
No flying Wii remote stuff going on.
Learning from their mistakes.
And also with this package, it comes with 3 free pieces of software. 2 of them are more gaming experiences. One of them is a more surreal 3D drawing tool. I'll get to that one kind of last.
You got your Mario Paint?
Yeah, it's Mario Paint.
It's totally Mario.
It's called Tilt Brush. It's quite the experience. There's no flies to swat, or at least I couldn't find any.
Oh, but I came for the flies.
No flies. And there's no like Yoshi music generation.
Dude, that was
that was pretty awesome. But
okay, what's their selling point then? Because they just like kind of crushed my soul.
All right, so the selling point, I guess, if you're going for an amazing game, there isn't really an amazing game for it just yet, or at least not the ones that I was able to play, which was the free options that sort of came with it. But as far as being sold on the experience, I was definitely sold on the experience. You are in there, you are in this world. So one of the interesting game experiences was the job simulator. So there's 4 different jobs, and the first one I fired up was the cooking one because I love to cook. So I'm in this, I am a chef, and I'm in like this restaurant behind the grill and the sink and the refrigerator, and use the controllers. Because it's one-to-one motion, you have to actually reach out, open the refrigerator doors with your hands, reach into the fridge, grab the milk or the eggs or whatever it is that you're going to cook with, go to the stove, pour milk or throw eggs at the stove to cook the eggs and stuff like that.
Smell the milk, make sure it's still good. Yeah. You realize these aren't my regular brand of eggs. You throw them at the wall. You fire the busboy.
You throw it at the robots that are your patrons, and it's hilarious.
You throw it at your customers.
Everything. I threw everything at the customers.
Gordon Ramsay simulator? What's going on there?
Pretty much.
They didn't mind. They were robots. They just turned to you.
Who doesn't mind having virtual food chucked at them?
Maybe they didn't.
I came to patronize your restaurant, sir. I was hungry. My money is just as good as anybody else's. How dare you?
Man, you told that to the iRobot robot. The iRobot robot will be taking that.
But this was part of how exact the experience was that I'm just throwing it like I would a normal like softball, because I was picking oranges and throwing it, and there was no like button press to do this other than squeezing the trigger and letting go of the trigger when you want to release. Everything else was like purely physics-based according to my arc.
I feel like this might not be like, you know, actual intended purposes of the hardware. This is just you abusing the system.
It was in there because there's some gameplay moments in Job Simulator where throwing stuff at certain things or robots was intended.
Well, I'm hoping if the job is like pitching coach or something. Right. You said I went to the kitchen and threw eggs at my customers. Like that's
there's another one with a mechanic shop, and you're a mechanic and you're supposed to be repairing cars, but you're like just taking out a piston and replacing it with a banana and like doing also you're messing up the customers' cars, and then you could take their parts and there's a trash barrel with a basketball.
Backboard.
The backboard right next to it, so you can just. It's meant for you to like take parts and just throw it right into the thing, and once if you land it inside, like confetti shoots out, and you hear like little applause, like yeah.
What kind of business environment are they cultivating, man? The ethics here are
it's a comedy job simulator. So
okay,
that's awesome.
It's actually very fun, even though it's called Job Simulator. You think like job, like no one enjoys doing their job, but this was
I thought it would have you like sitting there at a desk job doing like TPS reports.
They actually do have a desk job. That is one of them. I didn't get to try that one, but I had my roommate try that one, and that was very fun just to watch him play it. Because he was taking staplers and throwing it at.
Did he took Milton's stapler? Then get back to that?
No, you virtually pick up a copier and just like bonus round.
Oh, there was a copier there, and he took a copier and
PC load letter.
Oh, you get like donuts. You put the donut in the copy machine, and then it copies a donut.
That's hilarious.
You could take food items, and if you grab it and put it up to your real mouth, you'll eat it.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, so it's teasing. Actually, no, maybe it's a good diet simulator then, because you eating virtual food. Your brain thinks you're full. Your body's like, I'm wasting away. Eventually, dysentery sets in.
Yeah.
It's a modern day Oregon Trail. So
I can see this going all types of ways. Once you start integrating sex and all that to it, I can see it going all types of ways.
You took it there. The Japanese already
have that. Go ahead.
It's got that vagina cup infomercial that they passed around on YouTube with the dude and the virtual breasts.
Gotcha. Peeped it. Yeah. Go ahead, Johnny.
So Johnny, how did you find fondling the virtual breasts?
There were no virtual breasts.
Oh, you got the basic model.
So, yes, I got the basic model. But there are definitely if you read online, there's definitely a lot of people interested in making virtual porn.
There you go. I mean,
that is definitely going to be a thing, and that will be selling like hotcakes. I can already tell you.
Wait. You want to enunciate there again? Selling like what?
Selling like hot cakes.
Okay, all right. There's a soundbite you just released there, which will be used in the advertising.
Yes.
Okay, so you had a positive experience from this then. It sounds like you enjoyed using the Vive.
The experience itself is very surreal. Now, there's definitely a big but to this. And I have to just briefly mention that Tilt Brush is what sold the entire experience to me. That, even though it's a 3D drawing tool, you're in this world and you just move your arms around and you're drawing and your markings are moving around in 3D, and you can see your drawings play out, and it's almost like you're painting and sculpting at the same time, and it's hard to explain, but it is amazing, absolutely amazing, because they have a bunch of built-in like art showings that other people sort of put together, and you can see every brushstroke that they do as it's playing out, and then eventually it shows like the final result, and because it's room scale, you can walk around these virtual pieces of art and look at every single possible angle of it.
They made a holodeck.
It is a holodeck, yes. It is absolutely a holodeck, and it's amazing experience. Now,
so is all the available software, like right now it's all proprietary? Will it stay that way? Or are there plans to expand and have third-party developers actually make?
No. It's definitely third party. Anyone can develop for the Vive. There's actually quite a large number of studios that are working on their own VR experiences. I think it's well over 100 different projects are in development right now for the HTC Vive.
I do got one quick question. I know about to wrap this up. Right. So from if I'm a person that's sitting in the room watching you go through this virtual experience, is there any way it could be fed to a TV for me to see what you see?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I thought. All right.
I have
That's
it. So as my roommate was doing his thing, I mirrored the result onto my computer monitor that was running it, and I could see what he was doing. I couldn't hear it because I didn't set up the audio that way, and he had the headset on.
But the capability's still there.
It's still there, and I was watching him doing it. It was actually hilarious just watching him interact with the world and doing the silly stuff
That's
that he was
awesome.
doing.
Y'all having your own version of Strange Days where it's like he's seeing what you see on the monitor, but what you're actually seeing is a program you made where you walk in to the room and just like beat him to death with a baseball bat for being late on the rent.
The best part is like while someone's in VR, just touching them, and it feels so weird to like accidentally bump into something or to get touched by someone while you're immersed in this virtual world. It's a little startling, but the big problem with it is that you need to make sure you have the hardware capable of running this. You need a fairly...
I can't run this on my Lisa.
No, you definitely need a fairly beefy system in order to run this thing, because the big thing is that you need to run it at 90 frames per second. You could probably get away with 90, yeah. Jeez. You could probably get away with 60, but you're on the board. That's completely up to your stomach and whether you can handle it. I have a very strong stomach, and I got motion sick twice while using this. Now, it wasn't for software that was intended for virtualization, so I will say that as a caveat. And I know I wasn't running it at 90 frames per second because the system I'm currently using it with wasn't powerful enough. But getting motion sick, getting that done twice, it's awful experience. Like, we're talking like I had to lay down for at least an hour, and I was still motion sick for another hour after that. It's like 1 to 2 hours of just feeling dizzy and nauseous.
So I should enjoy some chili dogs before I try the sucker route.
You definitely don't want to do that.
It's like hardcore Harry.
All right, so you would so I guess you would you recommend it? It sounds like a pretty positive impression.
No, don't recommend it.
You don't recommend it.
Wow.
All right, so
everything you said up until we're out of time, but everything you said up until this point, I'm like, yo, he's making this thing.
I thought so too.
Yo, I want to get mine right now.
It is an amazing experience, but unless it has that one game that you know, or that one piece of software that you know is going to be it for you, is going to be like the ultimate experience for you. If you know it has that, then yeah, it could potentially be a sell for you, but it doesn't have that for me. I know in the future it will, but right now it doesn't. I don't have the system that's capable of running the game that I want it for. And also, like, we're talking, it's $800. $800.
Okay. Next time you start with that point.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. $800 for motion sickness. I'm good.
All right. So the HTC Vive, Juste Jonny says, hold out for the breeding season port.
Definitely hold out. Yes. That is the killer app once that releases, if it ever does.
Once that releases, so will you. All right, this has been the Geek Down here on W.